Absolver, For Honor meets Dark Souls. Absolver is a martial arts focused combat souls-like game where you play as your created character with your own special fighting style and set out into its world to take down all the marked ones and open up a gate. This game can be played either offline or online where player versus player is possible, but co-op is also possible. The game is a souls-like not because of its difficulty, it's fairly easy and everything can be seen in under 5 hours. It's a souls-like because of how it's delivered. This is one open world with enemies around every corner. These enemies will respawn when you leave the area or activate a meditation post, which is where you fill up your health. There's a little fog you enter to take on the game's bosses. But these things are the only Dark Souls part about it. The combat here is decently fun. You're able to do heavy attacks, light attacks, dodge and block, and there are 4 different fighting stances you can take, and these stances will determine the moves you can pull off. And you learn more moves outside of your fighting style through combat with either other players or enemies within the world. Moves are leveled up as you use them, but by blocking them your character will start to learn them, and eventually you'll be able to use them yourself. Though the blocking is probably the most annoying part of this game, as enemies are either blockers or they aren't, and somehow annoyingly enemies can block from behind. That's the only thing that makes a boss quote-unquote challenging, is that they spam the block button instead of forcing you to evade and time your attacks. Because of this, I found the game to just be very button mashy, opposed to a game like For Honor where you have to read your opponent a bit. Sure, you can wait for them to stop blocking an attack when they do, but you can also really just mash buttons and use your special abilities, which are unlocked as you progress the game. Depending on the class you pick, you can use an ability to gain health by striking until you take damage, or stunning your enemy for some free shots for example. These abilities need to be filled up by taking or dealing damage though, which is a fair bit of balance. Running around isn't going to help you. But as you're running around, if the game doesn't have server issues, like it started to on launch, you'll see other players running around or fighting, and you can either step in and help, ignore them, or attack them. I was attacked a few times, but it was never annoying when it happened, as I came out on top every time. It's sort of satisfying to be attacked by a player, put them in the ground, and then revive them after putting them in their place. Doing so will make the two of you neutral instead of hostile, but you're able to offer them help or request help, offer a truce and play co-op together without battling. And there is a loot system here. There are weapons you can pick up and equip, though they break, and characters can have much stronger gear for protection or lighter gear for speed and strength, so you have to be careful who you attack if you do. But there's definitely some trolling potential here. There's a certain bridge, for example, where a player can use their pushback attack on passing players, so look out for it. Technically though, the game plays pretty smoothly, though I did run into some lagging before the server problems happened, and part of the world disappeared once and I got stuck in a hole, forcing me to back out into the main menu. I found Absolver to be fun, though once you see all there is to see, the world loses a bit of its charm. There is replayability in the form of leveling your characters and combat moves through player versus player, 1v1 of course, but the combat isn't deep enough to be fun in its own dedicated competitive mode, and there isn't a deep enough world to make this replayability anything but artificial outside of it. This is a beat in a weekend game, which isn't a bad thing. I give Absolver a 7 out of 10. If you played Absolver, tell me what you thought about it down in the comment section below. If you haven't played it, tell me if you plan on picking it up. Thumbs up. If you liked the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider supporting me on Patreon so that I can continue to bring you reviews for all the newest games at patreon.com/superkengaming. You'll get access to early audio and video versions of reviews, exclusive Let's Play videos, and you'll even get to choose the game I play next. Thanks for watching, and of course, stay beautiful.